Hey everybody, how's it going? Jake here. Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I am over at my buddy's house where he collects sap from the maple trees and we are boiling it down to make maple syrup. Let me show you what we got going on. So my friend, who I've been friends with him for a long time, and he's got this great property here about 20 minutes away from where I live. And he has all these maple trees and collects sap. You can kind of see the blue drip lines here. And he has a drip line gravity fed system that goes down to 5-gallon buckets. You can actually see one right over there. And he collects the sap from them. And he takes those 5-gallon buckets, dumps them into these big jugs over here, and then preheats the sap in this little boiler. And then he actually built his own evaporator here, which boils down all the water and leaves awesome tasting maple syrup. So as you can see, he has a couple pans, if you can see through the steam, 3 pans. And he built this evaporator. It's all lined with fire brick. And right now we're just starting to get it going with the propane torch. And we got plenty of wood here. He measured the sugar content yesterday of the sap, and it's at 2.5%, which I guess is pretty good. So I'm just gonna be filming a little bit here, showing the process. I hope you guys enjoy. So we're taking the sap from the big bucket and putting it into this pot here, which is like a preheater to get it warm. That way, once you put it on the evaporator itself, it doesn't take as much heat energy to get it to boil. So it's kind of like a little preheater. As you can see here, the wind's now blowing the right direction. We got all 3 of these pans boiling away, and we're making maple syrup. Louie is walking around in the woods. You can see his tail over there. He has a grand old time. And it's hard to believe it was 56 degrees yesterday. Woke up to about 3 inches of snow, and we're right back in the thick of it. Is that right? What? Oh, you don't like being tied up, huh, Lou? Huh? So as the sap's boiling down, we keep adding more from the preheating pot. I just filled up the pot, and we have about 40 gallons of sap, which at 2.5% sugar content should come out to about a gallon of maple syrup when we're all said and done. So this is quite the process. We've been splitting up some nice black locust and oak down into smaller pieces to keep the fire going. My friend says that the coals actually are not what you want. You want that hot, like actual flame. So the hotter we can get it with the flame, the better. So we actually just took out a bunch of coals into that bucket there to make room for more little pieces of wood so that we can get that nice flame. So this is pretty cool. We'll check back in later. All right, guys, so Louie and I are currently in the truck. We're going to pick up some more propane, or actually we're gonna get 2 more canisters filled up. What my friend was explaining is that we can get a lot more gallons boiled per hour of the raw sap if you have the added extra heat of the propane rather than just using the heat from the wood in the evaporator. So with the extra propane, he's found that he can do about 12 gallons of sap per hour at this sugar content, which is dramatically more than what you'd be able to do without the propane. So we started out with these 2 partially filled canisters. We're gonna go fill them up, and we're gonna head back to keep making the maple syrup. So stay tuned. All right, so we just got back with 2 fresh propane tanks, and as you can see, the color is getting much darker. So we will be testing the sugar content in a little bit, and we'll check back in. But got fresh tanks, preheater going, and the rest of the sap in this barrel here. So we're looking good. Getting down to the very end of the barrel here. So we just took a sample out from the evaporating pans here, and we're gonna let that cool down a little bit so that we can get a sugar reading. But while we're waiting for that to cool, we are drinking some homemade Bloody Marys with some homemade copper straws here. Staying warm outside in this winter wonderland. Okay guys, so we started the boiling here at 9:30. It is now 12:15, and we had a total of 40 gallons. We just added in the last bit of sap into the preheater here. So we are warming that up to get to boil. Then we will put it into the actual evaporator. So we're getting close. We just took out, my friend told me that this is the device to measure sugar content, and it's called a refractometer, and it uses the brick scale, BRIX, and you basically put some sap, a dropper full of sap, on that screen there, or looking glass there, and you look through the end of this, and it shows you a blue and a white line, and where the blue and the white meet, it shows on a scale, if you're looking through there, the actual sugar content. Now this one in particular goes up to 10% sugar content. So it wasn't showing the line because the sugar content of the sample that we took out of here is above 10% sugar content. So my friend is going to grab his other one that I think reads up to like 90% sugar content, and we will get an accurate reading then, because we are at the end of the boil here, so we're getting high sugar content, darker brown color. We are looking good. Okay guys, so there you can see, I'm holding the refractometer up to the camera lens here. We're at 14% sugar content, but keep in mind here that we've been letting this sap sit for a while, and it's not fully down to boil. We've been adding and diluting fresh sap into this. So the sugar content when we're done is going to be quite higher. But as you can see from this, if I hold it to the camera, it goes up to 80%. So we'll check back in when we are done, and hopefully we'll have much higher sugar content. So for anybody that's going to say, oh, you don't need propane, wood should heat it enough, look at how hot those fire bricks are. Red hot. We are boiling away. But what my friend said is that with the propane, we're doing about 12 gallons an hour evaporating rate. Without the propane, we would be down to about 4 gallons an hour. So we are taking this 40 gallons of sap, boiling it down real fast because it's Super Bowl Sunday and we got beers to drink and football to watch. What? C-H-E-Z? Oh, A-Z. All right, guys, so we are back. We are down to the very end. We are transferring stuff, if you can see through the steam, from the back pan all the way to the front. Just took a sample here, and I'm gonna try and show you if I can find it. But there we go. We are up to 30% sugar content. Now, keep in mind, this is not fully boiled down, so by the end we should get down to about a gallon of pure maple syrup at the end here. So 30% with this amount left, we are doing good. We're on the right track. So we just dumped the last pan into the pot here. The evaporator is empty. It is firing down. What are we at for sugar content?
55%.
Last we checked, we were at 55% sugar content. We are going to finish it off on the stove. But that is probably going to be the end of the video here, because I am not going to take you into my buddy's house. But yeah, maple syrup. Look at this stuff. It is absolutely gorgeous. So you can see that rich amber color. We're looking really good. The final boil will be out on the stove, but this is making maple syrup Connecticut's finest. Well, all right, guys, that's the end of making the maple syrup. We got it down to just about the final stage. My friend was gonna finish it up on his stove, but here is a bottle or a jar of the final product. And as you can see, this is really dark amber, maple syrup here, really nice stuff. Louis has been tasting it all afternoon, mixed into snowballs, and he's really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to try it on some pancakes, maybe even put a little drop into a glass of bourbon. But as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. If you liked the video, give us a big thumbs up. Any questions, comments, or feedback, throw it down in the comment section below. But for now, I'm Jake, this is Louie, you're watching Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you here next time.